We're trying to do this healthy thing. We're trying to stretch. They're telling us that stretching is good for us, but you're losing so much hair in the process. Why? Hey my lovelies, welcome back to my channel where I break down the fundamentals of my hair care. So we out here stretching, guys. We're out here relaxing, stretching, and we don't care. We're loving it. We're celebrating stretching. Today's video is going to be all about how I stretch my relaxers. Of course, there are different methods that different persons employ, but today I just want to take you through a few things that I normally do in order to maintain a healthy stretch. And when I say healthy, but girl, it hasn't always been a healthy stretch. Let's just face it. So I'm just coming to you. Over the years, I've learned a few things, and I'm still learning a lot about my hair, to be totally honest. But over the last few months, these are some of the things that I have started doing that I've seen some good results from. And if you want to know what I've been doing, girl, just keep on watching. Before we go any further, hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of these type of videos, and also follow me on Instagram where I try to post consistently every single week. Alright, so enough of that, let's get into the video. So when we speak about relaxer stretching, what is it that we're actually talking about? We're talking about the period of time between relaxers. So my last relaxer was in April. We're now in August. So the period of time between July and August is what we refer to as relaxer stretching. So when people are speaking about, oh, I'm 15 weeks post relaxer, or I'm 7 weeks post relaxer, it generally means that that's the amount of time that they have been stretching their relaxers. Now, in the healthy relaxed hair world, 10 to 12 weeks is considered the recommended time for stretching your relaxers. I remember when I first got my relaxer back in 2007. Back in 2007, when I first got my relaxer, my hairstylist said to me, I want to see you every 3 months. And of course, every 3 months is equivalent to every 12 weeks. And so that has always been my consistent routine. But there are persons who generally get relaxers every 6 to 8 weeks. And that is considered really unhealthy for your hair because it can lead to issues of breakage. It can lead to what we refer to as relaxer overlapping, and that's pretty much where your hairstylist applies relaxer, could be by accident, applies that relaxer to existing relaxed hair, and that further breaks down the bonds of your relaxed hair and contributes significantly to breakage. Now, a lot of us choose not to stretch our relaxers for different reasons, but before I get into what I actually do to stretch my relaxers, I want to talk about some of the challenges, girl, some of the challenges that we encounter when we're relaxing, and these challenges can sometimes be a deterrent to us stretching our hair. So let's just talk about these challenges. Let's just make them real because they are very real. So first up, this new growth. We love the new growth, right? We love it. You can see mine here, girl. It's coming in really thick, but it comes in dry. Let's just be honest about it. It comes in really dry, and sometimes you're just itching to get that relaxer because you don't know what to do to curb some of the dryness. It then becomes a problem for you to manage the new growth because you're dealing with two different textures of hair. Your relaxed hair on the ends and your natural hair coming in at the start. It makes it so difficult to wash, to style, and just to generally look neat. So it's really a challenge. Wash days sometimes can be so much more difficult because of this new growth that's coming in. Over the last few weeks, I've been wearing my hair like this. I'm gonna insert a picture. That's the only style that I could have found because every other style requires me to manipulate my hair, and we don't have time for manipulation when we're stretching our relaxers. So this is the only style that I could have been rocking, and I'm just like, God, I'm over this. I can't wear this hairstyle for more than 2 weeks. It's just gonna stress my life. And of course, the breakage and the shedding, and this is a really big issue. The longer you stretch your relaxers, especially if you're not employing proper routines or proper techniques to manage your new growth, you increase the risk of breakage. And how many of you find that when you're stretching your relaxers, you have more shedding? just raise your finger, because I've been there. We're trying to do this healthy thing. We're trying to stretch. They're telling us that stretching is good for us, but you're losing so much hair in the process. Why? So all of these challenges occur for a number of reasons, and I'm just going to take you through what I've been doing to get over some of these challenges. So let's get right into it, girl. So number one, when you're stretching your relaxers, you have to be mindful about what your hair can take. Not because DenaJ and about 6 other people on YouTube and Instagram are stretching their relaxers for 14-15 weeks, that does not mean that your hair can take that length of stretch. At this current moment, I am 17 weeks post relaxer, and this is probably one of the longest stretches that I've had in recent times. A few days ago, someone on Instagram asked me, how many weeks post relaxer are you? Because I posted this particular picture, and I was eager to say, oh, I'm about 12 to 13 weeks. But I went back and I checked, and when I saw that I was 17 weeks, I said, oh, I didn't even realize that I was stretching my relaxer for that length of a time, and it did not feel like a hassle for me. So I know that 16-17 weeks is now a comfortable time frame for me to stretch my relaxer. But of course, it's a gradual process. If you're accustomed to stretching your relaxers for 10 weeks, every time you relax, try stretching your relaxer for 1 additional week and see when your hair is saying enough is enough. That is what you have to do. Don't just start off by stretching your relaxers for a long period, especially, girl, if you have 4Z and 4, especially if you have 4B, 4C hair mixed up in all of this, it makes it so much more difficult. So know what your hair can take and only do what your hair can take. Now, when you relax your stretching, best believe that your routine will change. The same routine that you use when you're about 5 weeks post relaxer is not going to be the same routine that you're going to take when you are 14, 15, or even 13 weeks post relaxer. It's going to change. So for instance, your moisturizing and sealing routine, that is going to change significantly. When we're moisturizing and sealing, we often focus a lot more on our ends. But now that we have that dry new growth coming in, girl, you have to find ways of moisturizing your new growth as well, because that area that we refer to as the line of demarcation, so just a quick informational tidbit, the line of demarcation is actually that point where your relaxed hair meets or intersects with your new growth. A lot of the times that is where we experience a lot of our breakage, because that area is considered very weak. So you want to make sure that you're moisturizing that new growth and moisturizing that area as well. What I tend to do is I would normally mix in some conditioner and some water in a spray bottle, and I tend to spray that on my hair every single night. That for me is a must. I find that traditional moisturizers just do not moisturize my new growth enough, and so that concoction works for me, in addition to applying a thick creamy based leave-in conditioner, and it helps as well with my styling. It makes my hair softer in the mornings, and it helps me to slick my edges down a little bit without having to use too much additional edge control or edge gels. That for me works very well on my new growth. Now, one of the main reasons why we get a lot of shedding around time of relaxer stretching is because our scalps are dry, because we're completely neglecting our scalps around this time. And one of the main things that you have to really focus on is scalp health. Now, a lot of us suffer from dry scalp, and trust me, dry scalp seems to be exacerbated around the time that you're stretching your relaxers. So it's so important that you go in, even if it's not every other night, at least twice a week, go in and oil your scalp, girl. Oil your scalp to make sure that your scalp is staying nourished, because that dryness is giving grounds to extra shedding. Now, this may be a little controversial, but for some people, the way how they get through their stretches is by using heat. Case in point here, girl, we have blow dried our hair this week, and I've really blow dried my hair because I have all intentions of relaxing my hair this week. So that's the only reason I blow dried. But for some persons, blow drying completely helps them with their stretching. But what I found is that when I'm blow drying my hair, my technique changes because of so many weeks post relaxer. I normally blow dry my hair in 4 sections, but girl, that doesn't work when I'm 16 16, 17 weeks post relaxer. It just doesn't work. It's a breeding ground in my view for breakage. So what I normally do is each of those 4 sections, I would divide them again into another 2 or another 3. And so I find that when I'm blow drying in smaller sections, it minimizes the risk of breakage, and I'm able to detangle my hair a lot easier and a lot better. So that helps. And what I normally do as well, I stop using the brush and the comb technique. I go straight in with the comb attachment on the blow dryer. For me, that as well helps me to manipulate my hair easier, and it reduces significantly the amount of breakage that I encounter when blow drying. You also want to make sure that you're applying a good heat protectant, yes, and also applying some sort of a moisturizer to your hair as well before you blow dry. Now, alternatively, if you want to continue to air dry your hair, please do as minimal styling to your hair as possible. Now is not the time. It's not the time, girl, to be going in and experimenting with different hairstyles. Your hair is just not going to cooperate. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be a stress. It's going to be a hassle. So just do minimal to your hair. If it is that you have to wear your hair in a bun every single day, do that. But don't manipulate your hair too much, because at that point, breakage is bound to happen. Some persons at this point as well choose to wear braid outs or twist outs, because these are low manipulative hairstyles. At this point as well, you want to try to do more protective type hairstyles. So if it is that you want to stretch out your relaxer a lot longer, you may then opt now for what we refer to as medium to long-term protective hairstyles. So those are your sew-ins, your wigs that you may wear for, longer than 2 weeks. So the longer you keep your protective hairstyle inserted, it reduces the risk of breakage. But you also want to be mindful about your technique when you're removing these protective hairstyles. And if you've seen my previous video, you know my encounter, girl. You know it. Just be gentle with your hair and listen to your hair so that you know when to remove these protective hairstyles. I hope my tips were helpful. These are what I've been doing, and these have been working tremendously for me. As I said, right now I'm 17 weeks post relaxer, and I'm getting that relaxer itch, you know what I mean? Like I'm ready to relax my hair. Next video upload is going to be a relaxer hair update, so make sure you stay tuned for that one. It's gonna be a good one. I can just feel it now. It's going to be a really good one. But yeah, guys, if you've enjoyed today's video, of course, don't forget to give me a like, hit the subscribe button and hit the like button, and of course share this video with a friend, and tell a friend to tell a friend to stop over on DenaJ's channel, where I try to upload videos every single Sunday. So until next week Sunday, girl, enough love from your girl. Bye.